Good morning. Happy Monday, April 6th, 2020. I hope this finds everybody healthy and well. This is my morning update from the Crone Law Firm. I'm, of course, Alan Crone, the CEO of the Crone Law Firm. First of all, I just want to say I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope that despite being socially distanced and all of that, we're finding the blessings every day in this. I know it's hard. I know it's hard particularly for those folks who were wage earners and now aren't wage earners, not able to go to work, not able to bring home money, very uncertain about the future. I've got some good news. One thing we're pushing out today, along with this video, is a step-by-step guide on how to apply for unemployment benefits in Tennessee. This is going to be similar to other states. The best thing you can do is go to the state Department of Labor or Department of Employment Security. In Tennessee, it's the Department of Labor, Labor and Workforce Development. And if you just Google how to apply for unemployment benefits in Tennessee, you're gonna find it. There's an app that you download to your phone. I checked the website this morning, and the website does appear to be functional and operational with regard to independent contractors, gig economy workers, those kind of folks, people who before this COVID-19 business started were not eligible for unemployment benefits because they weren't W-2 employees. Now, as many of you know by now, under the CARES Act unemployment provision, the federal government is offering $600 a week on top of any state benefits that you're entitled to for workers. And so this is very helpful for the folks that I just described: self-employed, independent contractors, gig workers. Now, if you had a business before February 15th of 2020, you're also entitled, and you're an independent contractor, even if you didn't have any other employees, you're also entitled to go to the Small Business Administration through your bank. Through a bank, if you don't have a bank, you can contact a bank and make an application. It's a very simple application on getting payroll loans. Now, this has caused some confusion, but if you're an independent contractor or a self-employed person and you say, well, Crone, I don't have any employees, I didn't have a payroll. Well, you had you. And whatever you were paying yourself in 2019, you can claim an average monthly payroll based on what your profit was or what you paid yourself as a result of your economic activity. And so you can certify to the bank that you had a business, that it was up and operating. It's not operating anymore because of COVID, and you can get a loan based on how much money you made on average per month last year, 2019. You take that number, you multiply it by 2.5%. That gives you the amount of money that you're eligible for a loan. You can then take that loan and apply it to wages for yourself for the next 2.5 months. You can spend. You have to spend at least 75% of your loan on wages, and then 75% you can spend on mortgage payments for your business or utility payments, or you can take it all as wages, and then that loan is forgivable. Now, talk to your bank about how it works. They're getting really up to speed. We spent some time last week really trying to figure all of this out. Late in the week, last week, the Small Business Administration issued some rules that greatly clarify it. So you can do one or the other. You can, if you're an independent contractor, you can get the unemployment benefits at $600 a week, or for 39 weeks, or you can make this application to the Small Business Administration. You can't do both. So I would put pencil to paper, see which is a better fit for you, and make your application that way. Now, in theory, once your SBA benefits are extinguished, then you could go and apply for the remaining balance of any unemployment benefits. you certainly have, that's certainly an option for you. Now, one other thing that let's talk about some stuff that's non-COVID related. I'm trying to do my best to get folks some normalcy in this, and I just want to comment on a United States Supreme Court case that came down today. Very exciting. I haven't had a chance to read it. I printed it off. I'm a child of the '80s. I got to read this on paper. I can't read it on the computer like my younger colleagues can, or my more technically savvy colleagues can. But I'm going to read this today. It's an order from the Supreme Court, an opinion from the Supreme Court, which loosens the standard for age discrimination cases for federal employees. And before this opinion came out, age discrimination cases, you had to prove that age was the sole motivating factor in the adverse employment decision. So in other words, if you could prove that age was a factor but not the only factor, then many times you were out of court. Well, at least for federal employees, that requirement is now lifted to where it hatches to be a contributing factor. That's a huge benefit to federal employees. And one thing I'm interested to see as I read this is whether or not there's a path from this to loosen the requirement on all employees. It may be a group of statutes that come together and just limit it to federal employees, or it could be an opening to loosen that requirement, because age discrimination cases are very tough, because they're one of the few discrimination statutes. Age deployment in the age Discrimination in Employment Act is one of the few that require that the discriminatory intent, the illegal intent, be the sole motivating factor. And that's a very difficult burden oftentimes under age discrimination. So we'll see what happens with that. And it's good to see that the Supreme Court is still working. I don't know if you've ever been to the Supreme Court in Washington, the building. I've never had the honor to argue before the Supreme Court. I haven't been in the building, I hadn't taken any tours. But to me, it's one of the most impressive buildings in Washington, D.C., and that's a city full of impressive buildings. You just go and you stand there, and the size and scope of that building, particularly when you consider what goes on in that building, how important it is, it's just amazing. And you look at it and you realize that building it basically supports the work of 9 people. It's just awe-inspiring to me as a lawyer to go and see that building. So the next time you're in Washington, go take a look at that building. It's right behind the Capitol on the east side of the Capitol. Anyway, that's probably more than you wanted to know about my opinion on the Supreme Court building. But again, like I say, it's nice to see that they're working and they're putting out. There's news other than on the virus. Not that the virus news isn't important, but I, for one, am glad to see and hear about something new. So again, if we can answer any legal questions for you, please give us a call, send us an email, or contact us on Facebook or LinkedIn. I really do hope and pray all of you are well and safe. And I look forward to a day very, very soon, hopefully, when we can talk to each other in person. All right, well, go out and have a great week, and I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.